Hi, this is Jean-Michel on the Rational Team Concert project. What I want to bring you through today in about 9 minutes is how to get a complete development environment set up. I'm going to start with Eclipse 3.6. Now you do have an option of using the RTC client, and it packages PDE and JDT with it. I'm a Mac user, and the 3.6 has a bunch of cool features and performance improvements, and it also has a bunch of cool features for RDE development. So I've got a vanilla Eclipse instance, and the first thing I'm going to do here is, since it is vanilla, I'm going to actually install RTC into it. So I'm going to launch it up, and there's a new option in RTC 3.0 in which we actually have a P2 update site zip file that ships with on the downloads page. So I've downloaded this. You can see RTC P2 for M7. And what this is going to let me do is basically install the RTC client into my vanilla Eclipse. Just accept everything, agree to sign your life away. So I've sped up some of this in the video. It's going to probably take a bit longer for you, but you get the picture. You're going to be asked to restart. So at this point, you've got RTC installed into vanilla Eclipse, so you can connect to the repo, but we're going to actually install some of the tools beforehand. So you can see here our welcome page shows up. So there's one more little piece of tooling that we're going to install here. It's called the feature-based launchers, which is how we used to launch the client and server. So I'm going to go find that URL here. Just go to jazz.net. And we can navigate to our wiki from here. So under development, there's a wiki link, and there's actually a page on the front page of our wiki called developer setup, in which most of the stuff I'm showing now is actually documented. And there's a topic on how to get the tools installed. So I'll just copy and paste that URL. Make sure you unselect group by name or group by category below, and let's go install the feature-based launches. Okay, so it's installed, you've restarted, and now we can go ahead and connect to JazzDev. So at this point, you're really you're ready to go. Now talk to your team leads about what source code to install, what stream to use. But I'm actually going to show you kind of from scratch how to actually get started off the RTC integration stream directly in kind of a minimal fashion. Now I usually connect to the 3 usual project areas, and let's go find RTC integration first. So I'm going to go to the search menu here and search for streams. Type in RTC integration. So I'm going to create a new workspace off integration, and what I wanted to show is what's the minimal set of components that people need in their, or what components need in their individual component streams to actually get started. So I'm going to deselect everything, and what's really what's most interesting is the rel-eng and some of the common stuff. And this is for RTC again, but I assume other teams have something similar. So we've got some common infrastructure, the JDojo libraries, which are shared by a bunch of teams. I'm going to leave the rest out for now. And individual teams have different setup requirements. But with this, there's enough to get started. So this is going to load, and I'm going to fast forward right now. Okay, so just press finish. Okay, everything's loaded now. So let's open the Package Explorer, and we'll see what we actually got on disk. Now what's interesting is these projects, one of the reasons why you load them is they actually contain the set of default kind of bootstrapping files that let you find the target platform. So let's just, I always sort the working sets and show the Package Explorer by working set. It kind of matches what's in the stream, and it's easier to find stuff. So you'll see here we do have a compile error, and things are compiling, which is expected. I expect to have a bunch of compile errors at this point because we haven't really set up our development environment yet. So this is expected. That error is because a builder wasn't found, which is fine. So there's a RTC launches project which contains a set of helper files for the RTC team. And the foundation team has done the same here, where, let me just see, a set of launches. And you'll see these launches called standard are a new naming standard we're using to make it easy to find the launches. In addition to that, we have target platforms that are set up. And what the target platforms let you do is basically set up your development environment and your binary dependencies. So I'm going to go pick, and these are pre-set up, and basically what we've done now is when we adopt a new foundation, we update these target files, and if you want to get the latest foundation that the RTC integration stream depends on, you can go set that, pick that target, and what this does now is it's downloading the Eclipse dependencies, the foundation, all that, and installing it. And after you've done this, it's going to rebuild your workspace. And you should see errors go away, which they have a lot, but there are some still sticking around, so let's just troubleshoot that quickly. And this is an exercise you're going to do when you try and load, bits and pieces of source. You'll see here that the script engine is missing. So this is a mistake I made in this setup. I didn't load the script engine component. So let's just go ahead and load that now. Now this is a step extra. Most of the time you'll have a stream that your component leads set up that has all these things in it. Again, I just wanted to show kind of the minimal set that you need to get started. Okay, so let's just go ahead and load the script engine. So at this point I'm expecting to have no compile errors. And you'll see this red X get fixed after this is loaded. Okay, that's loaded, a build's going to kick off, and we've got one error. This unfortunately is an Eclipse problem that we see now and again. It can't find some of the extension points when it should. So the plugin XML here, that should be there. So when you restart, it's going to go away. So what do we want to do now? Well, the next thing is, you've got workspace with some source code. We're going to go and run something now. So let's go to the launch configurations page. And remember, the standard launch configurations are launch configurations that the teams maintain, and we update them to make sure they're always working. And we've got two sets. The first are to create the test database. We have a foundation one and an RTC one. And the same thing for launching the server. So you'll see here we got a list of bundles and features. We've made this nice and small. The RTC one, you'll see some red X's, but don't be worried because it means we've kind of put the superset of all the features you need. But when you run this and you have a subset, it's just going to use whatever you have in your workspace. So we're going to go ahead and create a test database. See the console open, the JUnit window opens, and I'll fast forward here quickly. So there you go. Imagine it's done. Everything's green. So we've created the test databases. The next thing is we have an equivalent for the RTC web UI, which includes the bundles you need for RTC on the server. Again, you might not have everything, so that red X is expected unless you have all of RTC integration loaded with every plugin. So we're going to go ahead and run the server. And let's just go and double check that the server is doing its thing. So at this point, we want to maintain these launch configurations, and when we do adoptions from Foundation, we do update them. Teams are free to create their own, but at least we have a standard set now that you can always go back to and be assured that they've been blessed by the adoption team. Okay, that's HTTPS, so let's just fix that here. So, as you're self-hosting and you're developing, you'll see these random error messages in the log. I see some of these now and again. I suggest you do, log them against Foundation or against RTC. A lot of these are dupes, so make sure you do a dupe search before you do log them. But in theory here, the log should be a lot cleaner than this. So we're just in the middle of adopting a new Foundation now, so this doesn't surprise me. So there you go. You got the web UI.